Well, the end of the school year means it's almost report card time. And you know, there have been many times when I've been afraid to look at my kids' grades, especially in math and reading.
It doesn't have to be that way, though. There are programs to help your kids excel in math and reading. And as a matter of fact, joining us today to tell us more about that are Bob Blake of Kumon Math and Reading Center and John Cook, who is a second grader and a Kumon student. John, I'm over here. Hey, dude. I'm glad you guys came in. Thanks for coming in today. So, it wasn't like this when we were growing up. These guys are learning advanced math at a really young age. Why is that so important?
Well, there's a few reasons, I think. One of them is that over the last 10 or 15 years, United States students have done more poorly on tests that have been given around the world, standard tests, and educators as well as policymakers have kind of noticed this and said we need to address this because we're going to be falling behind if we don't do something about it. And so that's part of the impetus behind it, is to raise the standards to try to get the kids to a higher level.
Gotcha.
But there are other reasons too. One of the things, we live in a more and more technological society, and so the jobs that are out there that are actually potentially careers are requiring a higher level of math skills.
Oh, okay. But yet our kids are still struggling. A lot of them are struggling. Why is that?
Well, there are a variety of reasons that any particular child might struggle, but in my experience with Kumon and teaching before that, most of them, it comes down to the fact that in their early years of education, in their school experience, there have been things that they just haven't mastered. And so this skill didn't quite get, that idea they didn't quite get, and so these gaps develop. And as a result, eventually, enough of these gaps gang up on them and they begin to struggle.
And Kumon has programs that help that. How?
Well, we do two things with the students that come to us. First of all, we want to start them at a point, we want to take them back far enough to eliminate all those gaps so that they have a solid foundation of mastery to build on from that point. And then at the same time, we want to teach them how to learn on their own so that they're able to learn new topics and advance at their own pace rather than at a school's pace, so it gives them that opportunity.
And we're talking about kids needing to catch up, but it's not those kids. It's kids who may be doing okay in the class but need just a little bit more. Maybe they want to even excel more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have kids come, more than half of our students come, of the students who do come are actually already doing well in school or already advanced in school. John is an example of that. He was already doing well when he came to Kumon. But we give them these self-learning skills so that they're able to, by studying examples and reading explanations and studying the directions, they're able to teach themselves new skills because they're building from this solid base and then move at their own pace in a structured program.
So, John, you like math?
Yes.
Why?
Because unlike reading, it comes up more when you're like trying to decide what house you should have, or what car you should buy.
Really? Oh. How do you use math then? How?
By determining how good the car is and how much you want to pay for it.
John, you are just one incredible kid. You know that, right?
Yeah.
How did Kumon help you?
Well, even though I was already a good student, it helped me be more and more advanced by the day.
Okay. And just to prove it,
you haven't cheated and looked at this problem yet, have you? I'm just checking here. No, okay.
Okay, so we're going to play a little game. Are you smarter than a second grader? John being the second grader, just to make that clear. Jimmy and I and John are all going to do a algebra problem.
An algebra problem. Okay, so where did this problem come from?
It's from the Kumon curriculum. It's an algebra 1 problem, really.
Right.
All
right, we're going to show you what the problem is here real quick.
Here's the problem right there.
5x minus 2y equals 8 and x minus 3y equals -1.
So we have to find the values of x and y.
Is this
X
time?
and y.
Oh,
I think I'd rather do a 5-minute
Okay, here
recipe
goes.
challenge
He's already, okay, so, one, two,
Oh, no, that's not going to work. Oh, you probably got that one already. I don't even remember how to do this anymore.
1. Okay, so if that's the case, then
Okay.
10. No, 2.
Why did they say this where I couldn't see his paper? That's not fair. Sorry.
And let's see.
Okay, I think I got it.
You got it? All right.
I think. He beat me though.
I'm
He got it
I'm
first.
still over drawing the picture of the house.
Yes.
And then a car that goes outside.
All right. Well, let's,
This is the house and
Jimmy.
car that I'll never
Okay.
have.
Okay. Let's see the answer. What do you got, John?
Y equals 1, X equals 2.
Oh my goodness. What do you have?
17 billion point 6.
Well, because
John's
I'm just
okay.
so competitive, I have X equals 2, Y equals 1.
Which is,
That's
So did I get it
correct.
right?
is that right, John?
Good for you.
That's right. Okay. All right. So we're down to number 2. There's
There's
the answer. There you go. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
And the second problem was x minus 3y equals -1.
Wait. No, those were all one problem.
They actually they were all of the problems were combined.
Yeah, Jimmy.
To make two correct answers using a formula like this.
John, did I show you my picture of the house?
All right. Thank
But
you
no.
so much. I'll let you guys talk amongst yourself.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
I
much. And of
appreciate
course, if
that.
you would like some more information about Kumon Math and Reading Center and find out how to get your child enrolled, go to our website, delmarvalife.com. Click on the show tab, now located on the left side of the page. Still to come on Delmarva Life, we're talking about where the rubber meets the road. Tire maintenance is key for any vehicle. Tire King in Dover tells us some of the areas people often overlook. Plus, Brian shows us what it takes to do a tire rebalance.
Yesterday we learned what was up for grabs, including a lot of cash, as some of the country's greatest bakers get ready for the American baking competition. Today we learn more about the judges, including one of them who's known as the George Clooney of baking.
Cool, but first, many of us will spend this Memorial Day weekend outside. Dr. Oz says you want to pay close attention to how much you sweat. Really?
Are you always dripping in sweat? While sweating is natural, excessive sweat can be uncomfortable and embarrassing. About 1% of Americans suffer from hyperhidrosis, a condition that causes extreme sweating in the hands, feet, and armpits. If you suffer from excessive sweat, try boric acid or tannic acid solutions instead of antiperspirants. Botox injections into the sweaty area might help as well.